Yeah, so the cannabis space is another similar kind of space to blockchain where it's very fast moving. There's a lot of unique developments and ways to invest in it that maybe are hard to predict going into the future. So hard to create an index around it. So we, have an actively managed product, and the portfolio manager running it is an experienced investor and pretty public investor in cannabis, in the cannabis space, Tim Seymour from Seymour Asset Management. And, he really is in touch with, many of these companies, whether that's management or being part of the ecosystem. And he's going in and looking at not only kind of the applications, business applications of cannabis. So we know cannabis, has the ability to potentially disrupt a variety of different industries, whether that's, the pharmaceutical industry. There's a lot of research being done on sleep, anxiety, PTSD when it comes to cannabinoids, excuse me. And, THC is only one of them. And there's, over 100 cannabinoids that have been identified, and THC is probably the one that most of us know about. We've heard of, CBD, for example, but many others being researched. So pharmaceutical industry could maybe see some disruptions. We see, kind of the recreational use, whether that's the alcohol industry being disrupted by, cannabis. Then we also see, also kind of for pain and inflammation, CBD being kind of a very popular product or additive to lotions and creams. Some of the biggest users of that are your retirees. Who would have thought that, retirees would be pushing, kind of this derivative from the cannabis market. So, Tim is in there managing the portfolio and trying to not only find, kind of disruptive opportunities, but also the right management team. There's the cannabis space is a bit of a wild west. I think it's becoming better and better in terms of management teams and quality. But we've seen a lot of those companies kind of being weeded out, pun intended, over the last, several years as it's become more and more of a mainstream business. We've seen a lot more regulations happen worldwide, and certainly more states legalizing not only medicinal use, but recreational. So, in our portfolio, we have about a little over a third of the portfolio exposed to U.S. Companies in the form of MSOs. We have these swaps, if you will, that allow us to participate into the MSO space, which we think those companies are best positioned ultimately to benefit from what we view in the future as federal legalization of cannabis, which probably isn't going to happen in the next few years, but I think, further out could be the big opportunity, certainly for kind of the industry. So it's a way to kind of have access an expert's thoughts, opinions in this cannabis space. And, Tim's quite active and, owning a variety of different companies and exposures, diversified way. Again, this is an area that we think it pays to be diversified and have professional selection versus to select one or two companies. A lot of kind of business specific risk in this space, given kind of the emerging nature of it.